Yo, what up YouTube, it's Bryce doing a deck profile today, and I might honestly have to move the deck out of the way because it'll get too close to the camera or something, because this is a 50 card deck update, I suppose. This is adapted from G-Hopper85's 50 card deck. Anyway, this is just kind of updated for cards we've gotten since he last updated it, and also this is not necessarily the ideal build. This is just a build I made last week to take to my locals, and I'll point out which cards aren't ideal and what the replacements should be and any things you can do preference based. And anyway, let's just get into the deck. First off, we play the Plant Engine, Lone Fire, Dandy, Spore, Glow Up, because this deck mills ass, and those are all fairly good in Grave with the exception of Glow Up, which isn't bad in Grave because I guess you could remove it for Spore. But anyway, then we play some Light Sworns. We play 3 Raikou. 3 Raikou is somewhat slow right now, but since Lila was not yet reprinted in the structure deck last weekend when I was going to play the deck, we played 3 Raikou still. You could do 2 Raikou, 2 Lila if you want. I think that might be better. Then we play Double Wolf. Just 3 is obviously too many when we're not playing Pure Light Sworn, and it's honestly too many in Pure Light Sworn. But anyway, 2 Wolf, just mill him and then special summon him. 2 Celestia. This obviously blows up a lot of shit, lets you mill a lot, and that's very good. We only play 2 obviously, because 3 is way too many. We don't even run that many Light Sworn targets for it. But both Celestia and Wolf you can use as discard fodder if they're dead in your hand, so they're not awful. And 1 Lila, just because I only had 1 pre-reprint. Then we get into Volcanics, 3 Volcanic Shell. This card maybe some people don't know. What it does is, once per turn while it's in your graveyard, you can pay 500 life points to add a Volcanic Shell from your deck to your hand. So it lets you maintain hand control a little bit and provides discard fodder, and also works well with Volcanic Counter. What this card does is, if you take battle damage while it's in your graveyard, remove it from play, and if there's a fire monster other than Volcanic Counter in your graveyard, inflict battle damage to your opponent equal to the damage you took. So ideally it'll be a direct attack that you'll take, and then you'll remove this while you have another fire monster. And then your opponent gets burned for whatever you just took, so it's kind of like a magic cylinder, provides a little bit of an alternate win condition, and just another good card to get milled. Card Trooper provides milling, and is a floater, so those are both good aspects. Necro Gardener, just some good cards to get milled and provide some extra protection for the deck. And then 3 Reborn Tengu. This is one of the cards that was not out when Adam made the deck, so obviously this is just too good not to play in this type of deck when it's mainly monster based. Morphing Jar. Your hand can get small in this deck. I know Dark Worlds exist, but just don't flip it until you know they're not playing Dark World. Like, just play smart, and Morphing Jar will work to your advantage because you get to dump your hand into the graveyard, and also you get to draw new cards, so it's just amazing, especially in this deck. 1 Plague, just good to have in Grave, and it's a tuner, and this deck plays all Synchros, no Xyz, so tuners are obviously essential. Then we play some Synchrons, 1 Quick Draw, with the only ideal targets being Raikous. We only play 1 Quick Draw. And then 1 oh shit, I'm sorry, I meant to say Junk Synchron, not Quick Draw. We do play 1 Quick Draw though. Just there's enough discard fodder that we can justify 1, maybe even 2 Quick Draws, but at this point the deck plays 1 that I played. You can bump that up to 2. I'm not too sure on what to take out for that. Maybe a Raikou, I don't know. But you could bump that up to 2 if you absolutely feel it necessary. 1 Gores, you don't play that much back row, and there's a chance your back row will get milled anyway, so he can just save you. Gores wins games, so yeah. 1 Debris, just too good. There's so many targets in the deck. All your Raikous, your Dandelion, I suppose even Lone Fire and Card Troopers, and he's just too good not to play. Then 1 Sangam, for the same reason, searches out a lot of stuff in this deck. 1 Charge provides some mills and searches a Light Sworn. It's just amazing. 1 Foolish. Can dump whatever you want. There's a plethora of targets you'd want to dump, or it can just special summon a wolf for you. Just a very versatile card in the deck. Play 1 Solar Recharge. Should probably play 2 or 3, but I could only get my hands on 1 for the last weekend. And I'll talk later about what you should probably take out for that. 1 Burial. This This card's pretty good. You can recycle your volcanic counters and burn them more. You can get back your Necrogardenas. You can just do a lot of things with this. You get back Plague. If they remove something you want engraved, you can get it back. Just a pretty good card. But if you don't necessarily want to play this, it could be a Solar Recharge or another Quick Draw or something. Pot of Avarice. Obviously, the deck used to play 3 back when Adam originally built it, but it went to 1. It's just amazing. Like, this card is too good in this deck. This deck alone is honestly a reason this card should be banned, and this deck's not even, like, meta at all. 1 tuning. You only play 2 Synchrons, so you're a little bit low on targets, so you can only justify 1, but it is good to search out and then get mills, just like Charge of the Light Brigade. That's what I'm thinking of. 1 Blaze Accelerator. This is a card Adam had in the deck. He also played Volcanic Rocket to search out this card. Basically what you do is you have this, and then you get to dump whatever volcanic monster you want from your hand to the grave. So it just adds utility mainly, and also it lets you destroy a monster. That's its effect. When you dump the card, you get to destroy one of your opponent's monsters. So it's pretty good. I've never used it though. To be honest, I've never used this card. So you could definitely take that out for something if you aren't into that, but I definitely see where the utility would be there to wanting to play this card. Granted, I didn't actually run the deck last weekend at a tournament. I just played I played a bunch against my friends, and the deck ran pretty good. I was not really disappointed in any card choice, other than I guess this was never used. It wasn't dead, but I never actually used the effect because it doesn't let you attack. Anyway, then Staples, Monster Reborn, Heavy, and Dark Hole. And then on to Staples and Traps as well. Mirror Force and Torrential. These cards are all just too good not to run. And they may get milled anyway, so whatever. 1 Call of the Haunted. Don't play 2 just because it's an amazing card, but it's a little bit slow for the deck. 2 Magic Cylinder. This just combos with your volcanic counters and sort of creates an alternate win condition for the deck. Between these and the volcanic counters, you could burn your opponent to death right there, let alone all the other stuff you play to attack with and such. And then we play 3 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, just because setting back your opponent a turn is really, really devastating sometimes, and you definitely play the discard fodder for this. So that's the main deck. Onto the extra deck. This is almost ideal, but this is a lot of preference based as well. Play 1 Formula, because drawing cards is good, and because you can easily make it in the deck. 1 Armory Arm. I guess you don't need to play this, but it's often very nice to be able to go into 4 stars just to make big plays, even if you're just going to synchro with it then. 1 Frozen Fitzgerald, because of the Junk Synchron, basically, plus Raikou makes this, and just not being able to be stopped by spells and traps is really good. Plus, you can actually use the second effect in this deck pretty well. You just discard and bring it back in defense, and it's a 2500 wall. That can save you as well. 1 Catastor, because it's a staple, and it's, you know, pretty much the best 5-star. Don't play Librarian. I don't have one. And also there's space issues, but you could definitely fit Librarian in for like Armory Arm or something, I guess. 1 Turbo Warrior. You're going to ask like why I play this and not Librarian, but I don't have one. But also, this card's very good. Its effect is if it attacks a level 6 or higher Synchro monster, have the monster's attack until the end of the damage step, and he cannot be targeted by the effects of level 6 or lower monsters. Plus he's 2500, so he just gets over Synchros and then doesn't get stopped by low level monster effects, including Chaos Sorcerer, can't even remove him. Iron Chain Dragon, just go into this with Debris. Ideally, I suppose this would be Orient Dragon, but yeah, it's an Iron Chain. 1 Draw Warrior, just play that because of the quick draw play, basically. Just looping this is still good. 1 Brionic, because it's staple. 1 Nitro Warrior, just because you can make it, and it can just pull off some big plays, like, because it can attack twice, potentially using its effect, and that's just pretty good. Plus it's 2800 7-star, and that's beefy as hail. 1 Black Rose, obviously nuke and debris and stuff. 1 Junk Destroyer, because you often want to make 8 stars with your Quick Draw Synchron, because it's already 5 stars. And it just blows up cards, and it's 2600, that's alright. Gets over some stuff. Stardust, obviously. Scrap Dragon, obviously. One Mistworm. This would, I suppose, ideally be a Trishula, but it's never really hurt me. But definitely you want a Trishula if you are playing the perfect version of the deck. And then we play a Shooting Star Dragon as well, just because you can make it, and this guy is beefy as fuck. Like, he can attack multiple times if you're lucky, and he's 3,300, and he can just stop a spell or trap that destroys. Or monster effect, I believe. But anyway, stuff that's, I guess, controversial would be that. Maybe even that. This. You can make these Xyz if you want. Like, I suppose probably rank 4 Xyz, like Roach, Utopia. You can make these other synchros. But I personally like these cards, and they fit into my budget. I like playing all synchros and no Xyz in this deck, because there's no cards of the same level that I necessarily would want to quote-unquote waste on Xyz. But yeah, that's my 50 card deck update, guys. Any comments are appreciated, I suppose. But just bear in mind, I built this pretty fast, and it's not perfect, and I know that. And anyway, peace, guys.